You won't believe the story behind this classic movie. The Stephen King tale that every studio rejected became an iconic masterpiece. Columbia Pictures. By the early 1980s, Stephen King's success knew no bounds. He decided to venture beyond horror, dusting off old novellas to create different seasons, a collection of stories representing the seasons. And boy, did these stories pack a punch. 3 of them were adapted into major films, including one that studios initially turned their noses up at, only for it to become a timeless classic. The collection's gimmick? Each story represents a season, with titles like Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption. Later, The Shawshank Redemption, subtitled Hope Springs Eternal. Apt Pupil became Summer of Corruption. The Body, adapted as Stand By Me, was Fall from Innocence, and The Breathing Method remained untitled, the only one without a film adaptation. With 3 out of 4 adapted, it's a pretty impressive track record. But here's where it gets controversial. Which is the stronger movie, The Shawshank Redemption or Stand By Me? While the former is an Oscar nominee and widely considered the greatest film ever, Stand By Me is an iconic coming-of-age tale of the 80s. So, why did studios initially reject it? Columbia Pictures, set in 1959, Stand By Me has aged gracefully compared to some 80s coming-of-age movies, thanks to its period setting. It follows 4 preteen boys from troubled homes, brilliantly portrayed by Will Wheaton, River Phoenix, Corey Feldman, and Jerry O'Connell, on a quest to find a dead body they've heard about. Along the way, they encounter a menacing junkyard dog, leeches, and a terrifying train skirmish. Ace Merrill, Kiefer Sutherland, and his gang of thugs are also on the trail of the corpse. While the journey is entertaining, the heart of the film lies in the complex dynamics between the boys and how their bond deepens during the adventure. Stand By Me is a simple story. Much like many coming-of-age tales, think of The Breakfast Club as a group of teens bonding and bickering in detention. Yet it was this very simplicity that initially turned studios off, especially as King's story didn't conform to the usual genre conventions. As Bruce A. Evans, co-writer and producer, explained, the consensus was that no one would be interested in a story about 4 12-year-old boys on a railroad track. It was dark, there was no girl in it, and no one knew how to market it. What attracted us was that it was a coming-of-age story without the typical tropes. It was about kids confronting their own mortality. Ultimately, it took a smaller studio and a director known for his sitcom work to recognize the film's potential and bring it to life. Stand By Me rewarded Embassy Pictures' bold move. Columbia Pictures after, co-writers Bruce Evans and Reynold Gideon shopped their adaptation of The Body around Hollywood. The only studio willing to take a chance was Embassy Pictures. According to Gideon, the studio was the last stop before the desert. After that, there was nothing. Embassy originally wanted Adrian Lyne to direct after his success with 9.5 Weeks, but he opted for a break. In hindsight, this might have been a blessing, as the studio, co-owned by Norman Lear of All in the Family fame, had the perfect replacement. Rob Reiner, known for his role as Mike Meathead Stivic in Lear's sitcom, had already directed 2 comedies for the studio. This is Spinal Tap and The Sure Thing. Stand By Me gave Reiner the opportunity to showcase his dramatic directing skills and create his most personal film. Norman Lear stepped in again when financing fell through, personally contributing $7.5 million to the budget. Embassy's gamble on a King story that other studios had rejected paid off. Columbia Pictures, which had initially passed on the film, changed its mind after River Phoenix earned rave reviews from the studio head's daughters during a small screening. Stand By Me became a critical and commercial success, earning an Oscar nomination for Best Adapted Screenplay. Today, it's not only considered one of the best coming-of-age movies ever made, but also one of the finest Stephen King adaptations. Who knew that a story about 12-year-old kids walking along a railway track would capture the hearts of so many? And this is the part most people miss. It's often the stories that challenge conventions that become the most beloved. So, what do you think? Was Stand By Me the better film? Or did The Shawshank Redemption take the crown? Let's discuss in the comments.